So now we are going to automate some parameters using extensions. So for this, we can go to customize component and we go to extension here, and I will create my my extension, and I call it Scatterplot X, like this. Now if you go inside, you'll see that there is a new dot here, which is our extension. You can make it bigger, and I will use my editor. And we have our extension here. We don't need pretty much anything of this. We can delete the comments, we can delete all this, and here we are only going to use this for now. Yeah, that's it for now. We can test just to see if that works. So I can create a new text dot, and I can import this. So I can copy this, the name of the extension, and here we will be from this, copy paste this, import the name of the extension, which is the same. So I can just paste again. And then actually we have to make it Python. And then I can create the instance. So I call it inst, or actually scatterplot inst. Equals scatterplot extension, and then we need to get like the parent operator, so the dot dot slash, the name of the parent, which is scatterplot, and then we can print it. And I'll use text for that to check if that works, and run this. Okay, so it is working here. Now it's all ready, so I will use here for the next section just a network editor, and I will look at our null just to check what's going on. Or actually, we can use a geometry viewer to have a view of what's happening here. Okay. Like the control of X and Y. Now we have attack and defense, if I remember correctly. So if we go into data, into X and Y, we have attack and defense. And if I change this like to HP, of course the data, like the plot will also change. But we don't want to change this from here, from this data operator. We want to be able to change from within the master operator. So for this, we can go here in the scatterplot operator and customize component. And like before, we create a new page. We can call it data. And here in data, we can create two new parameters. It will be just X and Y. And they could be just a string. So the string will refer to this, but we were going to use string menu, and you'll see then why. So let's add one string menu X and one string menu Y. Okay. We have these two. Now, if I write here attack and I drag it here, like this one, to here, to this select operator as a reference, now I can control it from here. Same for Y. So we have defense. So I just copy paste it here and then drag it back here. So this would work, but also from now you have to typing from scratch the name of the variable. We also want to have in this like little window menu, we want to have automatically the list of all the variables available. Okay, for this, let's go up here into our extension. And so if you haven't done yet, I would suggest you, for your mental health, to use a text editor. I'm using VS Code. So we're gonna write a bit of code, and TouchDesigner has issues with, especially with the indentation and other stuff. So it's always better to write in an editor. If you haven't done, like, it's pretty easy. You go here, TouchDesigner, settings, and you open your preference page. You go to that, and here in the text editor, you have to write the path or look for the path of your editor. As you see, I'm using VS Code. I used to use Sublime, like anything is fine. And now, if I go to edit, it will open my text dot in my editor. And okay, let's start working on it. First, let's add these two new parameters here, and we will add them as attributes. So we can do self x equals self owner comp par x, one dot here. So basically what it's doing is taking the owner comp, which is this one, like the parent operator, parameter x, so it's taking this one, and is it assigning it to self x. So from now on, we will be able to refer to this as self x, just x. Same with y. I also have the Gitlab autocompletion. We can test this just quickly if it works. So we go in our text, that for now is like our debug tool. There's a more, like, an easier way for this. It's more like clear. We can use owner comp as a variable here, which is op parent. That's like the same of doing this, but independent from like the name. You don't have to plot the name. And then we can create this instance like this using this. Just more elegant, I suggest. Then we can refer to the x we have just created here as like this dot x. So we can print it. I will change this to textport dot, so we can see the output of the Python code. Now if we run this, we'll see that x, like the value of x, is attack. We can do more, like we can use name, I guess. And so you see that the name is x, and the value is attack. Okay. Now let's add the menus here. The way to do this is listed here, is displayed here in the TouchDesigner TDA functions page. You can check a bit more here in the par menu. Basically, you need two elements: the menu names and menu labels, and which are simply Python lists. And to see what they are, we can go here in customize component. You can go to y, data. You go to y, for example. This is the string menu we just created before, and here we can find menu names and menu labels. And names is like the name of the variable, and label is what will be shown when you open the menu. So like if I go now to the Y arrow, you see these three labels. So we want them to correspond to the variables we have. One quick way to do this, and also like to show how it works, is this. So I will open the editor, and now I'll start working on this. So first, I will create like for now a fake menu. So like menu names list equals, let's just add attack and defense for now. And then we attach it to self x. So self x menu names equals menu names list. And also self x menu labels will be menu names list. So like the name and the label here will correspond. We also put it here inside the init. So anytime we initialize it, that will happen. So let's try it. So I go to extension here and click the array init. And now I go to data and check here. I have attack and defense. So if I modify this, also our plot will change. Okay, attack and defense. Let's put back to attack. Okay, we can make it like a bit more clean, let's say. So first of all, we can put all this in the same line. It also works. And we do the same for Y. So let's copy paste this, Y and Y. Okay. Now it's also not really recommended to have it inside the init function. So we can create a new function. It could be like get variables, then self, and then we have this. Okay, but this will not work automatically when I do the reinitialization. So if I do this, it will not add automatically the variables here. It did because I did it before, but to actually have it, we can just like run this function inside the init and do this self get variables. Okay, so if I now add something else here like HP, save, and now I reinitialize and I check on data, I also have HP. Okay. Also, we don't want to hard code this list. Of course, the list can change, and we can also change the CSV file and the data. So we want this to be like extracted automatically from TouchDesigner. We go inside data here, and here we have like the first table operator and this null, and we add the select here and connect it to the null. Now we call it variables, maybe also variable names, and we take only the first row, which is the name of the variables. So we go select rows by index, and we can like also drag it here or just put 0, 0 in both. So you have only the variable names. So now we want to extract these names somewhere. Now we go back to our text editor. So it's okay. To do it properly, we go back to our extension and go to edit. So we have it. Now we can add it. So we can get the variables OP, the variables operator, which is this one. Okay. A little trick could be also you can drag it here and it will give you the path, but also we want to use the extension elements. So you can do this, copy, use the F for like referring to expressions inside the string, and we do self owner comp. Now we can check the plot, the path here. So the owner comp is this, the scatter plot, and then the rest of the path is fine. So we can copy paste it here. So we have the self owner comp, then we add slash, and then actually data, and then variable names. Okay, you can also like copy paste this and add it here. And now when we have the operator here, we can extract the columns from that. And there is a way, like a TouchDesigner way, which is this. So we can have menu names list equals. We have to use a list comprehension and C0 for C in variables OP. Call that will get the names from, like the column names from this operator, like this. And also use val equals true. You can check more. If you don't know, you can go just here in the question mark in the operators, and it will give you more reference for this. So can delete this. And so basically this one, maybe we can add the like little print debugging for now, like print menu names list. Now we can reinitialize. We had a little typo here. So actually call, it's calls, and that's it. So now if I reinitialize it, okay, so we have our list, like menu names list printed here, and this will correspond to what we have in data in the menu list, in string menu. And we have everything. So now if I go back, I took a quick look of my plot, I can change the variables here. And the good thing is that if you want to change your dataset and use like something completely different, that will still work. Now we can keep expanding on this and can add parameters here for size and color. So I've already added size. Like to do this, you just go to customize component, go to data, add the new parameter, which should be a string menu. So like I will redo. Let's do a string menu and call it size. And we can open the extension again in our text editor. You can add self size equals self owner comp per size correctly. Then we can copy paste these here and add, like replace y with size. Okay, now if I go here on size and can choose whatever I want. So I can use height, HP, whatever. And we go on data, we have the size here and the select where it's actually selecting the variable. So we drag it here. It's a reference. So now again, I go back and check if I modify this, the size will also change accordingly. Let's do the same for color. Let's, for this, I would rather create a new page for colors because we will add more later on. Let's add a new page called colors. And in color, we can choose like color. We can create a string menu called color variable. Can add it. Now we add it also here. I self color variable equals self comp. You have to copy paste this. So it's remember that the parameters always have the first letter as capital letter and all the other will be small letters. So will be color variable. So small letter here. And we can add it here. And we take the color variable. We replace the size. Now, if I check here, I have all the variables. And we also have it to assign it into the select dot, actually select chop in the color var. So it's this one. We choose, so now we have HP. Let's use HP again and add it here. Okay. So we can test again. If I choose now, let's say 8, will change accordingly. Attack, defense. Let's go back to HP. Okay. Let's do the same now for the background. So we can go to the background base here. And here in colors, we can add, so we go to customize component. And in the colors page, we add 2 parameters. We can add a background color, and it will be RGB A. Yeah. And also like a background grid color. So basically, I want to choose the colors of these and these. So we can add it. For this, we don't need any code. You can just, I open this constant one. You can call also like B as background color, and this one will be B grid color. And these, so we can open this one and drag this like here. And with that will automatically update the RGB values. You can leave alpha as 1, or you can also drag it here and base will be 1. We do the same for the background grid color. So what? We open this one, this top, and drag it here into the fill color, and also the alpha go here, and this will be also 1. And we open again the customize component. We go to colors, background color, and remember to put as default. So let's choose first. So maybe let's use this network editor to check how it looks like. So we go here. So we can choose maybe like this grayish, something like this. And for the grid, something a bit darker, like this, maybe. Let's look decent enough. So we can kind of export manually these values here. So into the background color, we will have 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, and 1. And in the background grid color, this is 0.7, so 0.7, 0.7, and 0.7, and here 1. Okay, we can add a few new things now. For some of them, we will need extensions again. First, let's add labels dynamically. So now we have in our title and labels page, we have what, like positions, but we also want to control the label itself, like the text. So we go to a master operator here and go to customize component, and to the title and label page, we can add, let's rename this as title header, and just below we can add string that will be title, which is here. Then we go below the X label, yes, the header, we create a new one, which is X label, like this, and then we go below the Y X label, this one, and we create also again a new string, which is the Y label add. We can give some names to this, like Pokemon, and defense, and attack. Now if we go into our title and labels page, and we go here into title, we can drag this one into the text here, so it will be updated automatically. Also, if I change something here, same for X label and Y label. So I do this, I drag this to the X label and this to the Y label. Okay, and another thing you can do is also to, if you don't want to like manually write down the name, you can refer to this, which will be like the exact name of the variable. So in this case, we won't have the capital letter, for example. So we can try here. I go to expression and I write me par dot x. Okay, I will leave it like this. It's also up to you for now. Now let's say that I want to control the font. So I go here in title, and if I press on font, I have the menu. And this is actually a string menu, like we have created here, like this. And of course, if I choose one, I can change the font here. Now we want to extract this menu from here and being able to reuse it for our labels. For this, we need again our extensions. And first, we want to create a parameter here. So let's go to customize component in data. And here we can create another string menu at the bottom, and we can call it fonts menu. Note that this will be the name, we will need it in a bit. Okay, to do this, we go again inside our extensions. So we go to edit and start writing. For this, we can create a new function, should be get fonts. Now, first of all, let's go back for a second to TouchDesigner and can create a component, an operator, like a top operator, that we will use to extract all the fonts. So let's go on top, and let's create a text, just a normal text, and we can call it fonts. Now here in fonts, in the parameter font, we have this menu. So we want to extract all these. So let's go back to our editor and get fonts, self, course. And then let's refer, like we did, we are doing basically the same we did here. So let's get this operator. It will be font, like font OP, we can call it this way, is OP. like we did before. So we get the first like level of the path, which is basically this, with this expression. So curly bracket, self owner comp, and then slash, and the name of the operator we created, which is fonts. Then we extract the menu, like fonts equals, and we get it this way. So we get them from this parameter, and this is a menu, like a TouchDesigner menu attached to this parameter. So we can go here and write it down, font op par font, then menu names. So it's basically the inverse operation that we did here. And now we did this operation using these fonts. Self owner comp par. Now we want the operator we created. So we go to TouchDesigner, and the name is fonts menu. So we go back, par fonts menu. Be careful with the capital letters. And also, if you remember, we also want the labels. So we can copy paste this, and instead of fonts menu, use, oops, I forgot a piece here, fonts menu, and we want these menu names. And then the same with menu labels. Okay, and then we will populate them with fonts, both of them. Fonts. Let's go back. We can try with the reinitializing everything. Let's go and check if we have any error. Seems like fine. And now if we go to our data and fonts menu, didn't work. So there is a little typo here. This speech mark should be here. Now let's go back to TouchDesigner and reinitialize, and then go to data, and in fonts menu we have everything. Now let's choose one, and I'll go to title and labels and title. Now I can just drag this one into font like this, and now this will affect the font. Can take a quick look like this, and if I go up and check our plot, also it will affect everything. Okay, you can do the same with the X and Y label, but also I will leave this one to you, and for now we'll go back to Helvetica. Now we want to control the colors. For now, we just want to control if using like a gradient or as like a monochrome, a single color. Let's go to colors, as you can imagine. Go here. So for now, this is our like colors like final operator, and this is what is like updating the colors in the geometry. So if we go here in our markers, in the instance 2, in color, we have this one. So to be able to control it, first let's create a constant, a top constant. And um, we want these to have the same number of samples or like pixels as this ramp. So the same number we have here, basically. So we can use the same reference we have here, and we put it here in the X. And just one is fine in the Y, like it doesn't really matter. Maybe, yeah, let's do it. Let's leave it one. And now you can choose our color. I will use this bluish, and then just a top two. So it will be a channel. And now you can create a switch like this. And this one will go here. Now, as you can see, since now we are using this, the color is already updated. You can see it better here. And this lookup we created before, actually you can create a null for this. And this will go to the switch as the second input. So now if I go to index 1, it will take as input this one. So you can just do this. Now, to be able to control it, let's transform it into a network editor and go up to our master and go to customize component and go to colors. And here, I would say maybe at the top, we can use, I would say, a toggle, which is like on or off, and we can call it monochrome. Let's put it at the top. Now we have this, and this will be the reference for this. Okay. So monochrome on means that like on will be 1 and off is 0. So we need to invert the order for these two. So we can use this arrow. So now monochrome on means we have one color, and monochrome off we have the gradient. One more little update that I like to do is we're not gonna use it here for real, but just to see. And I want to automate the like data injection and everything that follows after that. So let's say that we go to data, and here in our table we are using this CSV, but if we change it, like it will get the new variables, the new names, and so on. So instead of going to this path inside data, we want to automate it. So we can go again here to customize component in data, and we can add a file, which is a file, and add the parameter will be at the top. Now if I open data page, I can choose. Now I'll use my CSV Pokemon, which is the same one I'm already using, and then I use this as a reference here. So now I can choose my dataset from the top instead of going inside here. Okay, as before, I want to do some cleaning as a last step. Let's go up in the master, into the master, and customize component. Go to the data page, and I want to add some headers. File header here at the top, then variables header. Oops. Will be below file and section on, and then just one for fonts, header also that will go here. Now we can call just fonts, and the fonts menu, just menu. So we have fonts menu, variables, also just variables, header, and the file be like file, and here we can use path. One more thing, I want to rename these operators, the gears. So this will be axis, this will be markers, and last one will be background. Okay, so we can say that we have our like main plot. Of course, there is not, it's not finished. There are a few things that we need to do before having like complete plot, like a legend, cleaning some stuff like some space here, maybe the background is not nice, and so on. But before those details, I want to move to the interactivity part, which is also the most fun, and also where like TouchDesigner shines. So let's go on. I will go up and up, and so we can start fresh.